Good morning, welcome to the shop. Another beautiful rainy day in Long Island. Got a couple oddball repairs for this customer, friend, buddy of mine. You know, sometimes people just don't know when to let go, but hopefully it's easy. I'd hate to charge money fixing these things. We got a Toro recycler motor, Briggs & Stratton engine, no start, an old yard machine snowblower. Don't know what you're gonna do with that, but same thing, no start. See if you can get it to work. I'd hate to throw it out, yada yada. And then we got the big boy here, the Ransom Mower. Back in the day, I built a couple of these out of landscaping mowers. I made a couple with snowblowers. So they're like, you know, power wheelbarrows. Not bad, not a bad idea. But before I even thought of YouTube, this would have made a great video building these. Some I made with power lift. This one is just a manual lift. You know, welded, frames all put together by hand. And it's job security, because he brings it back to me every now and then when something breaks. And right now the transmission is giving him trouble. So we're going to see what we can find out with that. And I'll throw up a picture of these machines from back in the day when I first built them and they were shiny new. You'll either see it in the thumbnail or right up here during the video. So the red mow is done. That's just the carb cleaning. Nothing much to film there. Probably 1,000,001 videos on doing that. Alright, so the carburetor's back on, nice and clean. That thing was disgusting as hell. Now we got this broken piece of key that was stuck in here. It's definitely part of the problem. It was either too far in or too far out, or who knows, it could have been in there perfect, but we need the key to turn this thing on and off. So what do? Come over to good old Bamboo Studio, create a couple keys, and we're gonna slice them up. And we're gonna print them out. Make two just in case I damage one. Let's go to Bamboo 3 here. Send that bad boy. And we'll see what we get. Alright, my new set of keys are printing. Alright, it's the old snowblower. Let's try the key out. Oh, look at that. Fits like a glove. So that's your off and your on. Off and on. So hopefully this thing starts. Let's try that out. So the snowblower was a lost cause. Well, at least we got to see how to make an emergency key if we needed one. So this guy is the tranny is slipping. So we gotta move this tranny and see what's going on with that. Pretty much the same transmission as in the Bobcats and other landscaping mowers like this with the belt drive. So let's get this thing out and see what we find. Okay, so here we are at the bench, out of the cold, out of the rain. Thank God. So I've never torn one of these open in my life. So this is gonna be a mystery for me, just as much as it is for you guys. I'm sure this shaft moving like that isn't too good of a sign. The problem was it had plenty of reverse, but no forward. This transmission has reverse, neutral, and 4 or 5 forward gears, I believe. And this is the kind of tranny you'll find on a Bobcat, a Lesco, Kawasaki, Ransom, Toro. Pretty standard on those push commercial mowers with the belt drives on the side, you know, before the hydraulics. Splines are looking good on the shaft, so it's not that. I believe not. Maybe, but might look a little bit angled, but I don't think that's the real issue. So let's see if we can get this case open and what's involved. And I'm sure part of this thing failing is this nipple not being used. It's not there for looks. It's for, you know, grease. What do we got here? Probably 8 mil, you think? Let's see. Bring a couple here, 8, 9, and 10. It's a loose 10 now. It's a loose 10. Are we standard? Let's try a 3/8. Let's try a 3/8. Wow, it's a standard. Look at that. I'll be, eh? Woo! Powdered cast aluminum. Good for the lungs. Like that. Now we split the case somehow. What do you think, eh? That's not holding the case together. You look like we're already breaking apart. What do you think, eh? It's grease balls from this thing. Oh, look at that. Whew. It's like Easter. Let's see, I don't think I got any candy inside though. None that I'd want to eat. Okay. What's holding this? Oh, nothing. Oh, we don't want it to fall a million pieces here. Ooh, this thing is slimy. Woo! Definitely not full of grease. Huh. Got a chain in there. Chain drive. I haven't seen any metal yet. Wow, that's some yucks there. Got a blob of fresh grease right there. Super fresh. That's weird. Right? Where's that fill port? This is the bottom. This is the drive pinion. Let's see. It's not metal. I wonder if it's these splines that are actually like angled out. Let's see here. See what we got going on here. Where's that grease fitting? Oh, that grease fitting's right here. So we're filling up over there. Yeah, it's gonna fill in and just go over here. Huh. Let me take a little time cleaning this out. Make it a little bit easier to work on. Take a break. I'll be back. Alright, so I'm not really done cleaning, but I wanted to pop back quick to show you guys what's going on here, and we'll dissect this together so I can clean it better. But I want to pull everything out so we can both see how this is going. I got the top pretty clean. Not too shabby. Let's see what we got here. If you get this all out in one mechanism. This is the gear selector, and right in the middle here. Work that bad boy out. It's a little tough. You can see it wants to come out. Just grab whatever I got close. Needle nose works. Let's see if I get that out. Now, let me get a pin. Hammer and a pin. Shame I gotta touch these tools like this. Alright, let's knock this bad boy out. Loosen it up, at least. There we go. Okay. Everything should just kind of plop right out. Look at that. Oh yeah. Yummy. Yummy, yummy. A little water mixed with the grease there. Pudding. Alright. So that's that. I'm gonna do a little cleaning. And I'll be back. Alright, everything's cleaned up pretty good. I don't have the chain on. I have blocked up, sitting back in its case, everything. I don't have the chain on. But I didn't find one speck of metal, any broken pieces, parts, so now the mystery begins. Why? With the forward gears skipping. Could be as simple as these splines after taking this all apart. These splines could be angled one way, spun, and catching good in reverse, since reverse is rarely used. So I might have to get the couplings, vice this up, put them on, and see if I can wrench them. See if they catch good or not, you know? Because I don't see anything internally here that would cause it not to go forward. You know, everything's meshed up nice. No chips, no burrs. I mean, gear alignment looks okay. I'll play with this a little because I'm still curious as to how it goes to each gear. You know, so if you have an idea or think you have a clue of why this is skipping and forward, let me know. So then, taking a break. Alright, it's a new day on this skipping transmission. See, I got all the grease out of this. That was a mess. Alright, so reverse is good. All the forward gears are skipping, even under its own weight. So I'm noticing, let me give you a little rundown of how this transmission works. First of all, this is your selector switch. You'd be pulling the handle. This way would give you reverse, which is worked by the chain, which works fine in this transmission. And then this way, it's gonna slide these keys into each gear one at a time, giving you your 5 forward speeds. And that's where our issue lies. So we know it's not the pinion gear or input shaft coming up because reverse works fine. So this gear and the pinion are fine. I'm kind of seeing some wear on these keys. I don't know if it's enough to cause slippage that easily, but I guess it's possible. It's very hard to try to turn this and engage it by hand. It's almost like undoable to try it, but all my splines look good. These bushings are locking into their seats. They're not spinning over. Each one of these bushings is a tab which locks into the case. Free spin like that. Everything free spins. It's neutral right there. Okay, well, to move on, what I did do was I found in my stock a donor transmission. Same size case, same size everything. The difference is I see how these splines are a lot thicker, and I know this one doesn't have reverse. It's the same 5-speed forward, neutral, but no reverse. So I'm hoping I could open this up and swipe some keys from here, put in here. The only difference might be is these keys have no springs under them. These keys work like a leaf spring. They just bounce under their own tension, up and down. Some of them have springs underneath. And this is a 4-key setup here. I got 4 keys, and some only have 2 keys. So, I guess we'll be in for a surprise. Once we open this, we'll see what we get. So let's do it. 8mm bolts. Back to this greasy mess again. Oh, let me get this off quick. That looks like a 9/16. Okay, let's see here. 9/16. This guy off here. And this is definitely different. Well, let me go get my garbage cans. I hear them blowing down the road. I'll be back. Alright, got all the bolts out. A couple more bolts here. Oh, 3/8, not 8mm. My bad. Surprised these aren't metric. Okay. That. See how this case cracks? I don't use gaskets in these. This one's got sealer in it. You're really just supposed to use like a Loctite kind of sealer. Using a gasket, a gasket maker will throw off your mesh between your input shaft and your main gear. Okay, let's throw this in this square, see if we pop. Oh, crack! Like an egg. Like an egg. So my gears are gonna be on this side. It's not an opinion, it's gonna be on this side. Alright. Yeah, there we go. 2, 3, 4, 5. It's a 4-tooth. What am I seeing here? Huh. Huh. Looks like this would have reverse. Right? Maybe I was wrong about the reverse on this. Look at all the water that just came out of here, huh? Definitely not a good seal. A little water in there. They're actually looking the same. These end shafts are different. I'm just going to change this shaft, I think. And drop these in. Right? My keys aren't the same. Well, keys are looking... how do we look at these keys here? They're reverse. That's reverse. Well, would be reverse. I could have sworn this transmission didn't have reverse. So that's reverse. That's neutral. The keys are here. The keys do look the same. I mean, why just change the keys when I could drop this whole thing in there? Looking good. Yeah. Like this. Yeah. Like that. Oh, the shafts are different. I need to maintain these small shafts here. I don't see why I couldn't take this, swap the shafts, you know? Yummy, 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 yummy. Got a little play, not the same amount of play as the other one. There's really no reason for me to clean this. So, just put this off to the side for now. Okay, let's see. Hopefully I can swap these shafts. So that's gonna be my my goal here. These are looking a little opposite to me right now, but oh, well, this is supposed to be like this. That's why it's opposite. That's perfect though. Out and in. So I'm gonna pop this out and change this shaft to try to maintain my splines. And hopefully here and there lies our issue somehow, some way. Let's see what we got here. If we could decase this. I'm gonna have to knock this selector out. Hate touching my tools like this. What? See if he just knocks out. There you go. Alright, not bad, not bad. Knock the selector out, this whole mechanism should come out now. Okay. There is that. What a strange looking grease that is, huh? I guess that's what the water does in there. What do we got here? Oh, this is a detent ball for this. Do I have that there? Oh, you know what's funny? This one has a grease fitting. In the detent ball slot. Is that even normal? Is that normal? This has an Allen key in it. This detent's very soft. This Allen key makes this detent harder. I wonder if the grease actually pushes through there. We're gonna have to run a test on that after. There's your detent. They got a grease fitting here. Does the grease actually pass that ball enough to grease these gears? It's a little discovery there. And then this has an Allen key for the detent ball right there. And that detent ball lines up with this gear selector. So as you move, you feel it latching into each gear. And then this detent ball right here, you can see it, it's so dirty, rusty. There's a detent there for the neutral safety switch, which will land into this hole when you are in neutral, and then you'll be able to start it. And that's our little case description there. We'll get rid of this case too right now. Okay. This whole thing, this is the main part I need here. Alright. It should mesh with these gears. It should be the same. It's all the same brand, same company. So here's the selector switch. Throw that over there for now. If you want to see it. That's what it looks like. Yummy! Your detents. These aren't adjustable. Get this off the chain here. Off the chain. Come on, you mother. You mother. What the? What in tarnations? Just pushing it away. Bearing. That's the washer, another bushing. Here is the gear. And hopefully these internal splines are the same. It doesn't matter, I can use those internals. Just like that. Oh, this is for this guy. I don't need this guy. The only reason I need this guy is my gears don't mesh right. So we're gonna put this to the side. Yuck. Yiggity yuck. Chain to the side. Oh, you got one hand. Huh. Oh, there you go, everything just fell off. Just put it over there. I was gonna go put it with the other stuff. Chain. Everything's falling off here. I don't want to lose my order. My order of insertion. Sounds crazy. Okay, let's get these all back in order here. Yummy, yummy. Look at this crap. What the? Let me get a rag. We're gonna take this down a little bit. I'm gonna wash this down a little bit. You guys don't want to see that, so we'll be back in a minute. Okay, that's a lot cleaner now. Alright, now we're gonna strip this down. See what we got. Here we can see the disassembly procedure. So we got brass bushing, washer, reverse gear. These are your notches. The selector is going to pull these keys in and grab this reverse gear. When it grabs that gear, you're engaged, you're going backwards. Now these are your keys. They're going to come out with this selector bushing. And look what we find here. One of them is broken. These are very nice. Which kind of stinks. This is the piece I was at, the part that I was after. For this. One is snapped. Look at that. Bent and snapped. So this other piece got to be somewhere in that case. Floating around. We'll flip this. Then we got another brass bushing. And our 5 forward gears. Slide these bad boys off. 5 forward gears, and you have a bushing between each one, and that kind of acts as a detent as these keys slide in to each gear and lock and turn. They'll snap past each one of these washers and click into each gear and move you forward. So that's that. So now I either gotta buy another set of these, see if I can find them. From Peerless, this is a Peerless transmission. Or pick the best one out of these 4 and put it back together. This is the shaft that has different splines, so I'm not gonna be using this. Okay, let's get this apart. Might as well keep it in the stand. Make it easier. Okay. Let's get these guys out. selector. A little rusty. Considering there's so much grease in here and it's rusting like that, it amazes me. Okay. This half seems to be fine. So I just want to separate these two if I can. Yeah, do it like that. That works. Leave the reverse gear right there. We know there's no problems with that reverse gear. There should be a washer on the side here. Oh, there it is. Here's the washer. It's gonna go on the side just like that. So I'll move this off to the side. And here we are. And the gears look good to me. I highly doubt it's the inner teeth that are worn. Highly doubt that. The bushing. Let's see, these are like keys from this one. Which look worn. I mean, they don't look that worn, but definitely probably enough to make it skip. They look pretty flat too, like this spring is kind of worn out of them. So here's a good one compared to a bad one. You could focus in here. You'll see that corner on the bad one to the left is worn. Focus. There we go. You can see the wear on this one on the left. The one on the right's like new. It's a shame that one of them's broken. Even the spring. You can see the amount of spring on the better ones too. There's a lot more spring on here than on those. See? I could take the best one, or I could put a dot of weld on here and file it. I don't know if that will work. Alright, let me take a second. I'm gonna go look up some parts. See how easy these are to come by, or get up. That's it. Just come up with a plan. We'll see. All right. Okay, so these shift keys from Tecumseh are almost 70 bucks for a set of two. Just two. 70 bucks. Between 50 and 70. Looking at $20 for one. You know, that's crazy. This whole lawnmower isn't even worth that much. You get a whole transmission for about $200 to $250. You get a knockoff transmission for about $105 from Amazon. Still, we want this to just be a quick repair because this is the Ransom Mower. It's converted to a wheelbarrow. It's not used for mowing. It's just for pulling things around, which I guess does need strength, but you know, when's the thing, you know, when's enough? So I'm gonna take the best one out of these four. I'm gonna use these three, reassemble it, see what we get. This guy here looks okay. It's very tricky to get these keys back in. Very tricky. You gotta try to get them in the slots, just barely. ring around. This is definitely the hardest part to assembling this whole transmission. Getting these shift keys in. 1, 2, 3. Come on, 4. Let's go, baby. 1, 2, 3, 4. Wow. That's the quickest I've ever lined them up like that. Let's see. Come on. Come on. Don't lose it. And you gotta go like one slot at a time, work your way around, make sure they're staying in here. I'm losing my gears, but it's alright. This guy around. Start pushing it on and lining them up. There we go. They're lined up. Bang! Wow. That was a record right there. That's the quickest I ever got those on. These bad boys back on. They'll look okay to me. Get our reverse gear here. Come on. And our bushing. Oh, reverse is there. Out about that, and my bearing is there. I mean my washer. Alright, let's see. Pull out my little transmission jig here. Get in my gear here. Slide her in. Let's get this bushing on here. Okay. Make sure our bushing tabs are lined up with the corners. Okay. Got this bad boy here. A D10. How's this guy looking here? Let me show you the other one. Get some very good, man. This one looks better. This one looks better. As far as the detent's not as rusty. I'm gonna use this guy here. And I got a threaded piece already in the top. I don't gotta worry about oh, actually, is my handle gonna fit on that? That is important. That is important. This has this square, this has that square. And there is a difference. So you gotta stick to this guy. To this square here. Get on this thing here somehow, some way. Okay, there you go. There's that. Lock it to the reverse here. Okay, reverse. No, these keys are much higher. That should be good there. Alright, we're gonna go some grease in this. Okay. Actually, I'm out of grease. Gonna have to go run and buy some. Always something, man. But do that, and then I'll be back. Alright, back from the store. Here's what we got. We got some STP Molly grease. Molly makes it good for high pressure situations. It won't gas off or expand under pressure in a sealed case. Not like it's crazy like a car or truck transmission, but you know, just in case. Costs about the same as regular grease. And then to seal, to make the gasket, I got Loctite 515. It's like a step above regular thread lock. Because if you use a regular gasket or gasket maker, it's gonna create a space and cause a gap in the gearing, and it could cause a malfunction. Also, a piece of that thread maker can break off into here and jam something up, stop grease from getting to an area. You know, so this is what you want to use, Loctite 515. Alright, so now we're going to pack this bad boy with grease. This is the Okay, I cleaned all the edges with brake cleaner. You could assemble it dry, but when you use a grease gun through the Zerk, all the grease just goes right here, accumulates right here when you fill it up. So you're guaranteed to have bare metal spots when you go to run this thing if you assemble it dry and try to grease it after. Like this, I could see that everything is coated. I know I coated everything, and I could still add after it's together for peace of mind. So we're going to use this 515. Like I said, it's very thin, just a step above thread sealer. That way it gives you no width to interfere with gear meshing or give you any junk inside of the transmission. Oh, gotta cut the plastic. It's like a purple color, purplish red. I mean, grease is thick. It's not like an oil pan where oil is going to come leaking out of the sides. It's more to keep moisture out than to keep the grease in. You know, it's not easy to make the grease leak out, you know. Make sure we coat everything here around all the bolt holes. None of these bushings have seals anyway. They're just metal to metal. So if you're gonna leak, it's gonna come out of there anyway. Like $25 for this little tube. Insane what things cost nowadays. Ugh. Alright, let's get the case back on. Again, this is the detent for the neutral safety switch. This is the detent for the gear selector switch. Grease fitting's a little spinny in there, huh? Just spinning around. So you want to make sure that both of those are in and not missing. This one could use a little more pressure, I think. Oh, look at that. That's not good. What can we do about that? Do you have a spring or something in here? Yeah, this is the rusty old spring. If I could just put a bolt or something in that. Just this detent needs a little bit more pressure than a zerk that doesn't even fit. That's strange. Let's see what I can grab to take care of that. Alright. Set up in the vise. So I got this coupling. This is the drive coupling. That way I don't strip the teeth on that. Right now we're in neutral. This is the gear selector. That's reverse. Working good. Feels good at least. No pressure. Neutral. These are the hard ones here. First. Second. Third. Fourth. It is only a 4-speed. Neutral. First. Second. Third. Fourth. And fifth. There we go. Get another grip and see if I could stop it. Before it was very little force for this thing to slip. So I'm going to grab the key on the bottom here. Oh. Slipped out of the vise, that's what slipped. Get back in the vise here. Not an easy way to get this thing in the vise. Right. Okay, let's see. No, definitely not slipping like it was before. That's a plus. Okay, that's it. Let's go reinstall her. Let's see what happens. Alright, let's get this transmission back in. Hopefully I have all my tools and everything laid out. Yesterday, I ran back and forth like an idiot. Like 100 times tools. Today I think I'm prepared. choke. That's it. She's working. A little air in that tire. Call the customer. And that's that.